All right, everybody, I figured I'd just get a quick video up here because it's been a while since my last video. But pretty soon they're going to start coming in pretty fast, so I apologize for the delay. We were just waiting on some more parts and some time. Right now, the side-by-side is in the shop. The fans, as you can see, are not here and the shroud. So the fans are getting mounted as we speak and fabricated in. And then this weekend, so in a couple of days, we will be starting to tear it down. And I'll be doing a separate motor video. So what we did, just to give you some updates on that, is I bought a whole new, brand new block, bottom end. I bought a brand new crank, and then took the rods and the pistons, and we're just gonna fit that in there. So I have a whole new bottom end assembly, and then we'll take the other motor apart and put what we need on it for that. But there are a few other things that had come in. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. So now we have a bigger intercooler than that one because of the horsepower goals have changed. A lot of this stuff is still here. The expansion tank, I think we talked about, and the ignition coils. Got a new impeller for the water pump. Got that, I think, from LaRue Performance. And then the bearing support from Hess for the rear differential. We're going to use the stock diff for now. Obviously, it's probably going to be a problem, but we'll go from there. Different injectors. So I went to a bigger injector size because the horsepower we're trying to increase. I got all the gaskets. I also bought Viper cams, or Viper cam. I just did the intake because the exhaust doesn't do that much, but this is a Yamaha, and there's the part number for the Viper, so you get more horsepower out of the motor just by putting those cams on. I went ahead and bought a brand new Yamaha timing chain, so there's a part number for that if you need it. The oil tank came in, so it's the same stock size, but it's a thicker material. As you know, when you try to move and change the oil on that thing, the material, it's really thin. So I wanted to get something that's a little bit more reliable, and if I need to take the heat down, I'll just add an oil cooler, which I don't think I will. New alternator kit came in, so I have the what is it called? Anyway, the alternator that goes on the back of the transmission. I can't remember who makes it. So that doesn't work because I'm using JTE Engineering boost lock. So that goes in the place where the alternator is. So I bought this alternator kit here, which will mount on the frame and then attach to the driveline assembly, basically. There's the Packard intake. We talked about that. Here's a new piece of art. So I had John at JTE Engineering weld me up the exhaust manifold for the turbo. So there we go right there. Thing's beautiful. Great job, John. Thank you very much for getting that thing done for me, and as a nice favor. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to get this thing all done and show you what it's all about. So I added something else too, because I have to worry about a lot of compliance because I ride out in the forests and stuff like that. And we have a lot of rangers up here in Washington State that kind of want to check your stuff. So I need to keep a very good spark arrestor and sound. They also check for sound as well, believe it or not. So I'm going to use the stock muffler for up to about 200 horsepower. And then this will open up. And this is just a, one of those, you've seen them on muscle cars, and they did a lot of, shows on it. So it'll open up and bypass, and we'll straight pipe it out for this kit here. So this will go on, and this will just straight dump. I will be replacing the factory spark arrestor with the Alba SBD one. So it'll get a little bit better flow. So I'll be able to get, probably 200 horse or something through the stock. But when I open it up, I'll have the MoTech set up to automatically open that valve once I turn it up to a certain horsepower level. Already got all the hoses. There's the big, huge air cleaner that we're gonna need to get enough air going through there. There's a few more parts I'm gonna grab real quick and just kind of show you guys, like the MoTech finally came in. Thing's beautiful. John Reed did an amazing job on it. So I'm gonna grab that stuff, and then I have the drive line, and then I have some wheels and tires that I bought as well. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we have the MoTech from John Reed. Very nice system, the M130. Pretty much control everything. We've got, he wires it all, pre-wires it for you. So it's literally a plug and play kit for everything you need. Here's the ignition coil pieces, and there's a lot more in here, and everything's labeled. So the flex fuel sensor, this is the programming cable. Here's the wideband sensor that'll go in there with the AM, and then the flex fuel sensor, and then fuel pressure, oil pressure, and a NOx sensor. So really nice kit. And then as we install it and then get into more details, I don't know if I'm gonna get all the way into like how you hook up to it and program and tune and all that stuff. I mean, we'll see. I'll try to get as much as I can, but you know, John sends over a base map for you to use to get at least it running, and then obviously you want to have it on a dyno or something like that with a tuner and get them to tune it up for your fuel and conditions, and you know, just get it all set up for you. So there's that. Now I'm going to move to another spot, so I'll be right back. All right, so now we're in my garage. It's kind of a mess right now because obviously it's thrash time. Here's the wheels and tires for the sand that we'll be using for now. I ordered these when I was looking at, you know, 220 horsepower goal. Now we're going to be doubling that. So I've already bought them. They're already mounted. They're already ready to go. So I will be just keeping these for now. I'll probably have to get a bigger paddle later, but these will do. And then also we've got an Avenger driveline that came in. So that will be going in, obviously, because of the issue with the splines and stuff at the end. So with that Hess reinforcement bracket and this, we shouldn't have any problems with that. The only hopefully not problem is going to be the rear differential, but you know, I'm hearing everywhere that is going to be a problem. However, I have the 19s and newer, the bearing support inside the differential is made out of steel instead of aluminum on the previous ones. So I'm not hearing as many braking. As long as I'm not launching it, you know, doing launches and being on the throttle, I'm in the air and then gaining traction, it should be okay. But we'll find out. I actually have a whole new diff, brand new from Yamaha, that if I blow one up, then I'll throw that one in, and then I'll just take it easy on her and figure out what I'm gonna do next. So I will be right back, get out of this garage, and we'll finish up this video. I guess I should also mention one more very important piece to the build. The cage is here. So this is a crash off-road cage that I had them not powder coated because I'm going to be welding some tabs on the back for the rear light bar, the chase bar, and then I wanted to do some tabs for a different style way I'm going to put the windshield on, and then also for the front light bar as well. So I had them kind of create this little lip right here so that I can slide the windshield underneath this and then use this as a drip rail that'll go on top of the windshield. So when it's wet, it'll stay dry. And then the spoiler piece here, Usually they have quite a bit of kick, and I don't really like that look. So what I did is I told them to make it a lot less of an angle. And then the rear light bar will sit up perfectly in this channel right here, the chase bar. But no, they do really good work, nice welds. You know, I'm gonna have to obviously sand it down, but as soon as I get it all the pieces on it, then I'll get it all powder coated and ready to go. One thing I am gonna do is you see how, I mean, once it's bolted down, it's probably not as bad, but what I'll probably do, like what we do in like drag race cars, is any of the contact points and maybe even along the top of these, is I'll run a foam insulation where it's really close to the metal, like that. So when you're hitting bumps, it's not rattling like crazy. I won't put, like some of the aluminum panels you'll do on race cars, you'll put like a bead of like RTV silicone down and then just lay that down on there. But this will probably come off and on, and it's intended to do that. So I'll just probably put some rubber stripping there to minimize that noise. So anyway, that's everything, guys. Like I said, I'll get more detail. We're planning on putting the motor together here really, really soon. So like I said, I have a whole new bottom end. I have, you know, a new block, new crank, new rods, new pistons. Already mic'd everything out, made sure everything was good, got all the right bearings, double checked all that. So we are set to build it. So when we go to build it, I'll video the assembly of the bottom end. And you know, guys can see how it's done. But yeah, sorry for the delays. As mentioned, I will get more videos out here as soon as possible. We were just waiting on parts and stuff at the shops and timelines. And so the goal is to have this done. So we're here at the end of October, is to have this done by by Thanksgiving. So we got a lot of work to do. So hopefully we can get it done. Fingers crossed. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll get more to you right away.